Hey guys, and welcome to my new sub-channel, Monster Hunter Roulette. Before I got into the meat of what I was actually going to do here, I thought it would be a good idea to describe what actually is going to go on here in terms of what Monster Hunter is, what my relationship is with it, and what exactly I do plan on doing here. Monster Hunter, if you don't know, is a long-standing series of games made by Capcom that's big in Japan, not so big here in the West, in which you play a character that goes out and hunts monsters. It's an action RPG that is different from other action RPGs in that you can't just hack and slash your way through it. You kind of have to know what you're doing, and that's the glory of Monster Hunter. The game doesn't handhold you through any of it, and most of the game you need to figure out what to do before you can actually do it. It's one of the very few games that I recommend reading a guide on it before you actually ever play any bit of the game. The Monster Hunter games I've played, I started with Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, moved back and played Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. I played Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I own it for 3DS and for the Wii U. I've played Monster Hunter Portable 3rd emulated on my PC. I've played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for 3DS, and I'm currently playing Monster Hunter Generations for the 3DS. If you don't know what Monster Hunter is, and any of these videos ever entice you to learn about Monster Hunter, I suggest you just ask me. If you live by, I have backup copies of 3 Ultimate and 4 Ultimate for the 3DS that I could let you borrow. The main draws to Monster Hunter are that, unlike most games, there are no classes or no levels that you have to take. Basically, it's just you and what you can gather in your environment. You defeat monsters, and you get parts from them, and you use parts to make stronger weapons and armor, and that's how you progress through the game. Technically, you can get through the game with very little upgrades. It's just really hard. When things can one-shot kill you. This channel here will be some of the highlights and lowlights of my monster hunting career, considering that there's some weapons that I'm better at than others. I try to play all the weapons, but my favorite weapon is definitely Greatsword. In most games, I have a secondary weapon, but I try to play everything evenly, except for dual blades. I don't really like dual blades. Sorry. I will play some dual blades videos, though. Dual blades comes up, then I will definitely play dual blades. I've gotten more into pretty much everything in this new iteration, Monster Hunter Generations, and in fact, all of my videos here, unless something comes up and we decide to switch it up, will be from Monster Hunter Generations. My experience with Monster Hunter, probably over the games, I have 1,000, 1,200 hours invested. No, definitely more than that, because I had 800 invested in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I probably have like 1,500 hours of gameplay invested in all the Monster Hunters all over. I've beaten most of the Monster Hunter games by myself, solo, not because I'm an elitist or anything. I will definitely play the game with you if you want to, and we can make videos of that as well. But I just like the challenge. I like being afraid of something and then ballsing up one day and being like, you know what, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do it. And doing it that day. There's no feeling I've gotten from a game like Monster Hunter. While other games are simply you pressing buttons in the right way to do the thing that you need to do, this game actually kind of has some studying going along with it, where you need to actually learn and figure out the monster. There's no energy bars. There's only tells. You got to figure out where the monster can be, what the monster can do at any given time. Also, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who plans on watching this, So thank you to all 5 of you out there who plan on watching this series. If you just stumbled upon this, please watch this series, please. Now, Monster Hunter Roulette, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna have a set of monsters. We're gonna put them on a roulette wheel online. We're gonna spin that bad boy. Whatever it lands on is what I will be fighting that episode. Then I'll have all the weapons on a wheel, and I'll spin that wheel, and whatever it lands on, that's what I'll be fighting that monster with. Like I said, I'm good at the Greatsword. I can pretty much beat everything with the Greatsword. My style, actually, though, is to find different weapons to fight different monsters with, just to keep things fresh. With that being said, there are weapons that I'm definitely worse with than I am with other weapons like great sword, long sword, sword and shield, bow. I mean, it's hard to be bad with bow once you know what you're doing. We'll see how these things turn out, and well, that's enough of that. Let's get to actually watching some gameplay, huh? All right, see you guys later.